Have you ever tried to find quiet, but the silence was just too loud? Picture this: a young monk sitting in perfect stillness. The candle flame beside him barely moves, the air is thick with calm. But inside his head, it's a different story. It's total chaos. Every little sound feels like an explosion. The gentle creak of the bamboo outside, the far-off drip of water from the eaves, even the sound of his own heartbeat thumps in his ears like a war drum. He tries to focus, clenching his jaw, but it's no use. His thoughts are a raging river, washing away any hope of peace. He was taught that enlightenment, that true understanding, is found in stillness. But the longer he sits, the more he feels like a failure. His mind just won't shut up. His teacher once told him, "Silence is the truest song." But for this young monk, silence just highlights his inability to conquer his own mind. And underneath all that frustration, there's a secret he's almost too ashamed to admit, even to himself. He misses the music. Before he joined the monastery, he was a musician. His fingers danced over the strings of his instrument, creating melodies that could make people weep or laugh out loud. Music was his language, his whole world. But his teacher had instructed him to give it all up. "The path to enlightenment is one of letting go," he had said. "The music of the world is a distraction. You must learn to hear the music of silence." So he packed away his instrument. He tried to forget the feel of the strings, the joy of a perfect chord. He traded his melodies for mantras, his stage for a meditation cushion. He believed this was the only way. But the more he pushed the music away, the louder the noise in his head became. It was as if his mind was rebelling, screaming for the one thing he had forbidden it. The silence wasn't empty. It was filled with the ghost of his past, a constant, nagging ache for what he had lost. One evening, after another failed meditation session, he couldn't take it anymore. Defeated, he sought out his teacher, who was calmly tending to a small garden under the moonlight. The old master looked up, a gentle smile on his face, as if he was expecting him. "The silence is deafening, isn't it?" he asked, his voice as soft as the rustling leaves. The young monk, his eyes filled with tears, could only nod. He felt like a complete failure. He confessed everything: the frustration, the noisy mind, and the deep, persistent longing for his music. He expected a lecture, a scolding for his lack of discipline. Instead, the old master simply chuckled. He gestured to the garden. "Look," he said. "Do you see how this single flower grows? Does it struggle against the soil? Does it fight the rain? No, it simply is. It accepts the sun and the storm, and through that acceptance, it blooms." He then looked the young monk in the eye. "You are trying to fight the river of your mind. You cannot stop it by building a dam. You must learn to flow with it." The next day, the master handed the young monk his old instrument. The wood felt familiar, comforting in his hands. "Go," the master said. "Find your silence, not by escaping the music, but by becoming it." Confused but hopeful, the monk took his instrument to a secluded spot by a stream. He sat, closed his eyes, and just listened. He listened to the water, the wind, the birds. Then, he began to play. But this time, it was different. He didn't play for an audience or to create a beautiful tune. He played the sound of the water. He played the whisper of the wind. He played the rhythm of his own chaotic thoughts. He poured all his frustration, his longing, his inner noise into the strings. And as he played, something miraculous happened. The noise in his head didn't stop. Instead, it harmonized with his music. His thoughts became notes. His feelings became melodies. For the first time, he wasn't fighting his mind. He was dancing with it. In that moment, surrounded by the sounds of nature and his own creation, he finally found it. A profound, deep stillness, not of emptiness, but of perfect harmony. He had found the music of silence. Thanks for watching.